The photograph of Aisha was part of a bigger assignment for Time magazine. Aaron Baker, who's the writer, is the person actually behind the whole story. And I was asked by Time magazine to go and photograph portraits of about 18 different women living in Afghanistan. And it was from the Oprah Winfrey of Afghanistan to a documentary filmmaker to visiting an immolation hospital where women have tried to commit suicide, politicians. It was a variety of different women. And then I went to Women for Afghan Women's Shelter, and there I met actually two women, Aisha and Sakina, who was a child bride. And I arrived about 10 in the morning, and with my assistant, Shah, he was incredible. He was my translator. And we spoke to the director, and the director said, you know, you're going to meet Aisha. She suffers from incredible post-traumatic stress. And at any point, if she's too stressed, you'll have to stop photographing. And we went into a small room, a very nondescript room in the shelter. It had red carpets, one fan, and it didn't say anything about Aisha. And usually when I create portraits, my background tells you so much about the person. I usually do environmental portraits. So I think that by being a photographer and having worked in very, very difficult situations throughout my career, I think that in a way, it's not the first time I've seen devastation, even though I've never seen a woman who's had her nose and ears cut off before. But I go in a very normal way, you know, like, how are you, and like, how is it here, and are you looking forward if you eventually get to America? So I speak, you know, very, not tongue-in-cheek, but I just try and create an environment that's calm and relaxed. And then I started photographing her. I just use a tripod. I use one body and available light with a reflector. And I started photographing Aisha, and I felt that, because I try and capture the essence of what I believe the essence is, and I didn't feel that it was happening. And I felt, so I put my camera down, and I don't know what made me do it, but while we were photographing, she's very beautiful. And when you take the stress away, that beauty came through. And so I spoke to her, I suppose, from one girl to another, and I said that she's very beautiful, and I'd like to do a portrait of her where maybe she can become more in touch with her inner beauty and try. I could never understand what it's like to be pinned down and have your nose and ears cut off. But maybe, you know, she could just think in her mind of something beautiful and just feel an inner peace or something like that. And that's when she looked at me and I took the photograph. And at the same time, I did reference another photograph. I haven't been telling people that I referenced Steve McCurry's photograph, but it definitely was part of how I chose to photograph Aisha. My work is talking about breaking stereotypes or challenging stereotypes, because I think that we sort of build something within ourselves that we photograph things in a specific way. And I think countries, for example, are shown in specific ways. And you never see the in-between of what it is. And that's really what my work is. And that's probably what happened with Aisha. I saw her beauty. I'm feeling also, as a woman in my 40s, differently. And actually, I got this assignment because Kira Pollock from the Time really appreciated my work, Real Beauty, which is really breaking stereotypes around our bodies, women's bodies. And so I think it's a combination of things but it's subconscious. I don't believe I consciously did that. The reason that I've been thinking about it, why people were affected by that image, is because you see Aisha, the woman, first, and then you see what happens to her. And I think where we were speaking about how we get so used to seeing images of destruction that we just close down. I think what touched people is that you saw her as this beautiful young woman, And then you thought, why is she on the cover of Time? And then you saw what happened to her. So it made, I don't know, for me, you could relate because you saw the woman first.